So when I made my video about receiving a copyright strike on the Spider-Man promo video that was actually out here on YouTube, a lot of people were dragging me through the proverbial mud, saying that boo-hoo, you're crying because of this, you're making the decision not to play Spider-Man day one is, in some cases, some people said a dumb take, some people said it was a take that made no sense, and so on and so forth. But one thing you have to learn is you have to be very cautious as to jumping into conclusions. And I also want to say that I applaud the, passion from Spider-Man fans. I envy you guys, actually, because even though I'm not a Spider-Man fan, my audience likes Spider-Man, and I tend to talk about it a lot and, do some research and talk about pertaining issues around, the superhero character. And there are aspects of Spider-Man that I do like. You've seen me make videos of those. Now, this particular video, I actually made what I called a commentary over it. It was a small promo that was put out there on YouTube. And if you guys look at my own video on the subject, I actually talked about the video having been played from another YouTube channel which had the video. I didn't upload the video because I didn't have the right to upload a video like this. So citing this person's work was the way that I had to go, right? Which is what we call derivative content. So I thought that this video was being taken down everywhere, but apparently that's not the case. The video is still available on YouTube. You can see that this channel here, this channel here, this channel here, and this channel here all have the same video up, and it's still raking in views, and there's no problem. Unlike, say, mine, where the copyright holder, who was supposedly Muso Limited, has decided that the video be taken down, which is fine, but then a strike be added to my channel that's going to be expiring in 84 days. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is something wrong with the way this so-called copyright system is implemented, because, again, I don't know if you guys paid very close attention. This video has been up for over or almost a week on these other channels. If you notice, 6 days ago, 6 days ago, 6 days ago, and it's not like maybe the content system forgot to flag them. I don't want to be the person that's snitching. I just want to show you guys that the scales are not balanced. And when something is unfair, you hold the right to be able to criticize it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm, in a sense, I don't know. I'm in a sense kind of amazed as to how Spider-Man fans are very passionate about their game. I wish Gotham Knights and DC fans were, in a sense, passionate about their game, even though, yes, the game did not meet their Arkham expectations. They could have been at least, a little bit more cautious with letting outsiders come in and poop on their own game. But this is pretty much what, has kind of got me to the point where I'm like, I'm just kind of tired, because content like this happens all the time, where these companies will go ahead and flag a channel that, they don't necessarily seem as influential, and then leave other channels to pretty much have this same content up and running. And to me, the scales are not balanced, because this is a channel that has 11,000 subscribers. Not a lot of people are probably going to see it. So this Muso Limited, this is some sort of a third party, consulting firm that probably has a bot to identify content for these gaming companies, will go ahead and put a flag and a copyright strike on the person's channel. Now, even showing you this image might earn me another copyright strike, but again, I wanted to make sure that I showed you guys, because I really don't care. I didn't play the video in this particular, video that I'm making. So at the end of the day, they give a copyright strike for that. I can only go ahead and fight it, of which I actually went ahead and actually put a counter notification saying, hey guys, this video is available from another channel and I never uploaded the content, and I went through the process, and YouTube didn't even bother to forward the notification to the people. They just basically countered it and then said, no, we're not going to pursue. We're not even going to send it to the counter claimant, because, we don't think you meet the criteria to be able to have the content on your channel. And so I was like, well, I guess now YouTube is also joining in the whole thing to, kind of dismiss my claim. But it's fine. It doesn't really bother me. And some of you may, I've seen some of you making some really interesting conclusions, saying, I'm trying to grow an audience with, making content like this, or being a contrarian. You have to understand that this is my second channel, and my subscriber base here is actually about less than a third of my main channel, which has content coming soon. In fact, tomorrow, The Division 2 is going to be releasing an Incursion, which I've already told my community on that platform that I was going to be coming to play Incursions once they came out. So, folks, it's not really a big deal at the end of the day. I just thought, because this is a treatment that I cannot necessarily just go ahead and sit with, we got to look at it in a different way. And I'm deciding I'm going to protest by possibly not playing Spider-Man day one. In fact, when I saw that these other videos were online, my first reaction was like, there is no way these videos are still sitting here, because I thought these videos were a leak. That's why, I went around trying to look and say, what's going on? What have I done wrong? And I realized that this is just one of those things where it's a whole bunch of BS at the end of the day. So those of you who are saying all these things, you now have a little bit of context and you can see where I'm coming from. But don't let my decision deter your enjoyment or possible, patronage of the Spider-Man 2 game. That's perfectly fine. To be honest, if this was a Batman game, I'd still play it even with the copyright strike. That's basically what, the reason is. But I'm not a Spider-Man fan, and so I don't need to sit down and take this nonsense from them. And I have no interest, in a sense, overall, to want to, endure the nonsense that's going on. Because, again, this is something that I do for a hobby, and I'm doing it to serve my audience, but I just don't want to go the extra mile in this situation because it doesn't really make any sense. Now, I also get the argument that, this doesn't have anything to do with the developers. I get it. I understand. But their parent company has been doing this stuff through the backdoor methodology for a while. They don't want to be associated with a PR nightmare that can actually go with it. And you see, already they've kind of neutralized a lot of the big content creators by, number one, not even striking their own channels, and number two, by inviting them to, come play the game early access. That really does, in a sense, many of you may or may not know, it does affect your, your perception of the company. And regardless of how much you want to be objective, you're not really going to be objective, because no one's going to get up and say, hey, man, this little channel over here got a copyright strike when these other channels aren't getting copyright strikes, YouTube. Is this a thing? So you're the little guy in this situation. You're going to get forgotten. But I wanted to go ahead and, basically close up the loop, this open-ended question, and just say this is pretty much what, we're going through. But again, that's why I have two channels, because this BS goes on from time to time. And so I decided to separate my audiences and go ahead and separate my content. And I know, making the Division content, Ubisoft has a much more clear criteria. That's the thing. A lot of these companies don't have, criteria that you can actually count on. They make things somewhat vague. And so Ubisoft has very clear criteria when it comes to these things. As much as many people may beat on Ubisoft, tomorrow, the Incursion coming out on the Division 2, I know based on Ubisoft's rules that I can make fan content on their own video games that they've made, because they allow for creators to make them and even make them and put them on platforms where they can monetize the content without any vague arbitrary rules that may just pop out of nowhere. In fact, I remember in the Division 2 onset, when the game was first being, unveiled in E3, Rooster Teeth tried to claim my content, and I sent them a link with basically Ubisoft's own rules, and they immediately dropped that copyright claim like in 5 minutes, because they knew that they were in violation of that. So for that person who came and told me that my little peanut brain may not understand copyright laws, I applaud you for trying to, take a jab at me. Shout out to you. You tried to troll a troll, but, I'm not going to go at you in this video, but maybe I'll have some time for you and we can pick and analyze your comment in that video. Unless, of course, you delete it, which I'll give you an opportunity to, because, I'm going to monetize your comment. That's for sure. So I hope you're ready, because that's what we do here on YouTube. If you're going to come at me like that, you best be ready too, because, hey, if I can make 20 cents off of that video, it'll be a very delicious 20 cents at the end of the day. So just letting you know, because, I'm not here for monetization, guys. That's why I make a joke about it. I really enjoy doing the content. But, you really want fairness to be a thing when it comes to a lot of what it is that we are talking about here on YouTube. To be on a serious note. But anyways, I just wanted to make sure I put that out there. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.